I'm ready. Come on, Dot. Bring it. Bring it, Green Dot. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Hey, what's up, everybody? We're live. Welcome to the Awesemo.com live before lock show, where we'll be discussing all of the MLB teams besides two who are available right at your fingertips for today's slate. I'm Chris Spags, joined by my good friend, the Chubster, who I did you change shirts? Actually, I don't know if I saw your outfit today.
I did change shirts.
Okay, the outfit changing Chubster, Josh Engelman. How's it going?
I feel like I'm like Britney Spears in a concert. Wardrobe changes all around. I'm good. I'm good. I called a home run last night. Did you?
I didn't. I was too busy calling the other 3 out of 4 that I did, but it's fine. We'll get back on track tonight. I have a great pick, one which I feel like you might undercut with one of your asshole picks, but I'm locked in advance, which is a rare treat.
Are you reading that too?
Yes, I am. Jake D, who has changed his name to be a normal human being.
What's up, Jake D?
What's up, Jake D? I didn't confirm that you are Illustrator yet, by the way, and I probably never will. But
we could probably confirm in 6 minutes if you want.
Oh, sure, we could. That's right. We will have Mr. Awesemo himself, Alex Baker, on in just a little bit, doing his second tour of duty with us this week. So that'll be coming up, and then we'll confirm who's really illustrating for us and who isn't. We'll find out real fast. Jason Kelly bashing competitors. Hey, Moto Blinders, I agree. They're all idiots, especially in the live chat. But to be honest, everybody online is an idiot for the most part, except you guys. You're all great.
And me.
Sometimes you. Thoughts on the Nats weather tonight? I guess any thoughts on the weather in general? Any games you're avoiding?
As of right now, I'm going full steam ahead, barring the boss saying something different.
Ooh, okay. I kind of avoided some of the Philly game, which actually, yeah, that's right. That's why I did. Because Nevin Toth said that he didn't love it and said it was risky for starting pitchers, and that was where I would have mostly gone. So I avoided the Philly game. And a Washington game I want to like a lot, especially with the Washington lefties going against DeSclafani. Again, Tyler Mahle, it was depressing last night watching him get rocked. But the flash flood watch there did spook me off. So I am off of both of those 2 games. But Josh is not.
Nah, take a shot.
All right. 14 games. Lots of good weather out there. Why worry? Why even worry?
Because I love the Nats and I love Gio Gonzalez. So I'm going to happily worry.
Yeah, look, okay, that's fair. I felt like there were places to go besides that tonight, but if you want to make that choice, Josh, that's your right, just like it was to pick Jason Vargas, who was, in fairness, a serviceable play, who did just enough, but still a donkey dick jerk.
Look, everything I touched yesterday turned to gold, so let's keep it going.
And Josh continued his hot streak, allegedly. I don't know. I didn't confirm. I didn't check screenshots for his touts, but I'll take him at his value. I also didn't read Alex's article yet, so I'm going to do that while we get ready for it. Been a busy day of content. Yeah, today for premium members, Alex has his top stack percentage article up, which breaks down the odds of each stack being amongst the tops of the day. So we'll talk to him about that. Before we have him on, I guess, what are your thoughts on stacks before he blows our thoughts out of the water?
Yeah, so my top 3 right now, Rangers, Orioles, Twins, exact same stuff as I had in the Spotlight Hitters, Pitchers, and Stacks this morning. So I'm right where I wanted to be. If you're looking for anything else, I have the Indians 4th and the Nats 5th. But I am way under the field on the Rangers, particularly on FanDuel, full 10%. Teams that I'm most over the field on are the Rockies, the Reds, Yankees and Royals on DK, Pirates and Diamondbacks on FanDuel. I just read off half of the league.
Yeah, no, that was well. That's what happens when we have 14 games. That is the case. I ended up fading mostly the Orioles, not because I like Gerardo that much, but they just didn't happen for me. I think the Rangers were a little harder to fade just because I think the matchup with Hess is much more hard to pass up. But I did try to make some slightly more contrarian approaches to that stack, even went with a couple of 4-mans instead of 5-man just to get off the beaten path a little bit. But yeah, I do like the Rangers. The Rays came up for me as being interesting. Going against Giolito, I think is a pretty good spot for them. They're mentioned in Alex's lineup card, or not lineup card, his top sack percentage article as a potential sleeper team, which makes me feel good. I also like the lefties on Pittsburgh for a mini stack going against John Gant. John Gant gives up a lot of home runs to lefties, a lot of hard contact, the most on the slate, 55.3%. So I have a little bit of mini Adam Frazier and Polanco, a little bit of Colin Moran, just trying to find an efficiency there with John Gant. Are you stacking it all? The Cardinals, apparently you didn't like them before, but going against Chris Archer seems like a leverage point.
The Cardinals are my second worst stack of the day.
So you are just fully on board with Chris Archer?
Yeah, 100%. I have no Cardinals.
Okay. Apparently there's an image preview of our NFL rankings. Okay.
Speaking of image previews, are you a Real Housewives fan by any chance?
Not even a little. I'm not in a serious relationship, so I couldn't be guilted into watching that on a casual dating relationship.
My wife is at some Real Housewives live podcast in Philly tonight, and the guy in front of her is wearing a tank top with the lady Luann from the Housewives of, I think, New York, and it's just her mugshot printed over the entire tank top, which is kind of funny. That's all.
Those Bravo shows. The Bravo shows are really something kind of weird, I think, the culture around them, because I've had female friends and exes who've been in town who were like, I have to go to the Vanderpump bar, I have to go to this. So I wouldn't begrudge anybody going to a live podcast thing, because if you're just going to a restaurant to see the restaurant, I feel like at least the podcast in theory has some entertainment to it.
Yeah, I got dragged to one of those restaurants. Pomp, maybe?
Oh, Pump.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it is Pump. There's Pump, there's Sir, and then there's one other one which I think they just opened. That's what I was told.
We went to Pump for dinner. Food was actually pretty good, so I was happy.
Yeah, I think Pump is the one. I actually went to both of those with one of Max's. Went to Pump and Sir. Pump is the one that's super duper gay. Sewer is more of the kind of clubby LA vibe.
Yeah, but Pump has an outdoor area sort of. There's a courtyard on the side of it. That's where we ate, at least.
Yeah, and all the waiters have sort of fancy boy outfits with little bow ties, and some have sleeveless shirts. It really feels like you're there. Also, time to get Alex.
All right, I got him.
We are going to ring up our founder, the founder of Awesemo.com, the namesake, of course. He is better known as Awesemo on your DFS sites of choice. He is the top DFS player in the world. We're going to bring him on right now. Talk his views on the slate. And if you guys have questions, drop them in chat so we can throw some weird stuff at you. Fat Sal's. Fat Sal's is great. Andrew Mock. Is that Alex?
Yeah, there.
I think I heard something. Alex, you there?
What's up, guys?
Hey, there we go. Alex Baker, better known as Awesemo, at Awesemo DFS on Twitter and Instagram if you want to follow him. Going to have some adventures next week in New York in the Fantasy Baseball Championships. How are you doing today, Alex?
I'm doing pretty well. How about you guys?
We're good.
I'm great.
We're making a lot of content for you, boss. A lot of long day in the coal mine of content.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I mean, the NFL stuff is big. Everyone wants us to do it.
Yeah, we found a lot of really valuable guys. Just so you know, Alex, if you want to play him, 100% Alan Hearns the first week. That's what we landed on. Support the Cowboys. All right. We will get into baseball stuff now. Alex, your article today for premium members is the stack percentage. What are you doing for your stacks tonight across your many lineups?
So today I'm going to have a little bit of a contrarian strategy in that I'm just playing the top projected teams. So usually I'm always like, you should try to find the sleeper. You don't want to do the same thing as everyone else. But tonight, that's all out the window. I'm just recommending you play the top 3 teams, Baltimore, Texas, and Minnesota.
Okay, so I guess then the obvious question is, how are you differentiating your lineups? Are you going somewhere different at pitching, or are you trying to stack in different directions? What are you doing to try to get it so you're not just 100% in line with the field?
Yeah, I'm thinking more in terms of overall projection here because the advantage you get by just going with those teams is so big. Um, some things you could do to differentiate. You could fade one of the popular players in the lineup, and then you have a different stack of players. That could be a good idea. Um, but in general, I don't think this is a day where you want to be super contrarian. I'm probably just going to recommend playing the chalk because it's that good. At least as stacks.
Wow. All right. So a lot of people in the chat really thrown by you advocating for just following the chalk, but this is a point where having ownership projections like for our premium members would come in handy. So go check that out if you're not a premium member. I guess out of the main stacks, you're playing mostly Baltimore, Texas, and Minnesota, you said. Which of those three do you feel the least confident about?
So I feel confident about all of them producing, but as I mentioned in my article, my favorite one is Baltimore, just because I feel like the ownership isn't quite as high as the others, where I feel like they should all be about equally owned. Texas is probably the most owned, and then on FanDuel, Minnesota is also very high owned. So I think you can get advantage just going with Baltimore because it's the less owned of the three.
No love for Ariel Dorado. That's sad. It's not a whole new world for that Ariel. Wait, that is a wrong Disney movie. God damn it. He did a Little Mermaid song. Under the Sea. It seems like you're under the sea with Ariel. There we go.
Yuck.
Fuck you, Josh. What about a pitcher tonight? Chris Archer expected to be a very chalky option going against St. Louis in his new digs in Pittsburgh. Are you riding the Archer chain as well?
Yeah, I feel like Archer is probably the best overall play. I mean, I expect him to be the highest owned as well. Another guy I like is Vince Velasquez. Not as worried about the weather there. The radar doesn't look too bad. And then one game I might avoid is the Washington D.C. game because I was just looking at the weather. It looks like there's a big storm cell headed right for Washington D.C. I don't think the plays there are good enough to really recommend playing that game in the first place.
Shit.
Oh, how do you feel about that, Josh?
Not great. I have a lot of Geo, so that's fine. Oh, Chris, just one quick question. Do you know what happens if you don't play Archer? Where do you end up?
Where?
In the danger zone.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going crazy. I've been recording too long. Sorry. Continue.
It wasn't as good as my Ariel Little Mermaid reference, but I appreciate you trying. That's the important thing. Are there any stacks? You mentioned a couple sleeper stacks in your top stack percentage article. Which of those guys do you feel like you would go with? I mean, obviously you mentioned the projections are so different for those top three teams, but which of those guys do you feel most strongly about in that second tier group?
Yeah, I think they're definitely good options. I mean, obviously you can't stack the same three teams in all your lineups, so you gotta want to have some sleepers mixed in there. One I like are the Diamondbacks tonight. I think they're gonna go a little bit under the radar, and everything looks good to me with them.
Interesting. I was hoping you were going to go with the Rays, but that's fine. I'll just be disappointed. But no, I'm with you. I think Chris Stratton too. Very poor versus lefties, and there are a lot of lefties in that Diamondbacks lineup who have some value there. So that's an interesting one. Let's see, what else on the slate sticks out to you? There's so many games. I guess how do you kind of figure out your approach for a 14-game slate like this? I mean, it seems like you're digging deep by not digging deep today. What's the usual approach to kind of pare these options down?
Yeah, I mean, you got to really analyze each slate as its own entity. So today, I feel like both sides kind of underpriced this Texas game by so much that it's just one of those days where I'm hoping everyone else outsmarts themselves by trying to be contrarian, where the numbers really suggest you want to go with the top teams. I think the fact that there are three of them matters too, because the ownership's going to be spread out between all three, and the chance of one of the three teams having a really big night is pretty significant.
Interesting. All right. That makes sense to me. In terms of pitcher then, where else are you looking? People are asking about some of the middle price pitchers, some of the expensive pitchers. I would assume you're paying for Texas, so that might make it tough to get to the top of the line, the DeGroms of the world. But how are you approaching that for pitcher tonight?
Yeah, I think you can actually fit in an ace pitcher with those stacks because they're like so low priced. But one other guy I like is Patrick Corbin. I feel like he just has a good price point where I think he's fairly priced and he's in a position to produce. So I think he's a good play. Um, I'd have to go back and look at my lineups to really tell about anyone else though.
Question from T McB. How do you approach the ownership caps question from a stack/player/pitcher perspective? He's referencing, I guess, we've seen Josh make his 150 crunches, but what ownership caps are you approaching for a slate?
I haven't worried about it as much these days, but I think that the main thing you want to avoid is overlapping too much with yourself, because if you're doing something different than everyone else and you put in a ton of lineups that are all similar, you're just competing with yourself too much for those top spots. So that's where setting a number of unique players, or if you don't use Fancy Cruncher, just a number of different players in each lineup. You want to have at least 3 or 4 different players in each lineup, and I think that will differentiate your lineups enough from each other that you won't have to really worry about beating yourself at the top spot.
Somebody mentioned Brett Anderson, and I'm actually just asking this question for myself too. He's a guy who kind of worked out for me numbers-wise a bunch of times at a pretty affordable price on DK for an SP2. How do you feel about Brett Anderson? And I guess how do you feel in general about how do you approach a pitcher who is maybe, let's say, not good, but the matchup seems beneficial? Like the Tigers strike out a lot. Obviously, they're not particularly great. How do you approach a guy like Anderson?
Well, I think that a lot of times when you build your lineup, you just want to pick the pitcher that fits with your other players. So if it's Brett Anderson, that's okay. I don't think he's in a good spot. So I think that that's one of the things where if the ownership is low and you want to take a risky play to get some differentiation from the field, then that could be a good play.
Ryan's asking about money left on the table, in particular with some of the stacks that you mentioned tonight as being the top ones. For him, Baltimore and Minnesota, he left around 5K on the table with Archer as his pitcher. I guess how much is too much on the table, particularly on a night where some of the top stacks were so cheap?
That is a tricky question to answer. I think that usually you want to spend at least 49K of your money on both, or I guess on FanDuel. I can't remember. Is it 60K? So that'd be like, well, anyway, you can leave like 1K on the table, but if you leave too much, I think that the differentiation you're trying to achieve by doing that is just not. That's not maybe the most efficient way to do it, because you're just going to overlap a lot with teams that are just full of better players than yours. Whereas you can spend up on like a contrarian stack that had the same projection because they're not as good value and have a better chance of winning, I think.
Also, while we have you on the chat, can you confirm that Wow Dude I Love Baseball, I believe his real name is Jake D, is our illustrator for all the things, the images that we have on Osmo.com?
Man, I've never heard of a Jake D, but that image he posted was pretty good. We might have to use that.
I didn't see the image he posted. I didn't get a chance to click it. So is that not actually our guy? We've really been struggling with it, but not so much that we actually wanted to ask you over Slack.
Well, I didn't recognize him when his screen name was Wow I Love Baseball or whatever. But yeah, Jake is our artist. He has a lot of talent. And he's kind of a newer DFS player, so gave him a free subscription for all the work he put in on the site.
And he's in the live stream, so I like him already by that process. If I really like his illustrations, he's supporting our brand. That's all we care about.
I don't love his choice of online handles, but his art's good.
He loves baseball. He wants the world to know.
Apparently. It's going to be a really weird stream once it's basketball season, and I'm not going to know how to deal with it.
I think his comment about having his email handle show up as I Love Baseball was pretty funny, because I'm picturing all the emails that Bill Butlicker sent and how like that.
Shout out Bill Butlicker.
Bill Butlicker getting all the love. When you have a memorable name like Bill Butlicker, it's hard to not get some. Of course, Alex, you are on the stream. It's almost 3:30, which is our time of day to put our balls on the line, so to speak, make our home run picks. Who are you going to make as your choice today? You've done a pretty good job of it, and overall, percentage-wise, still better than Josh, myself, and Jake. Who are you going to pick?
So I gotta follow my strategy here and pick the chalk today. I'm going with Joey Gallo.
Joey Gallo. All right.
Number 2 in the model.
Oh, so you approve, Josh? You approve of Alex's home run pick? I'm glad. As long as you do.
Yeah, because he's not picking... Who's a stupid person at the bottom? Gorky's Hernandez or some shit. I wish I would have had a funnier one just ready.
Gorky's is pretty funny. Yeah, it's a funny enough name on its own, I would say. Any parting words for the week, Alex, before we let you go and tend to your many lineups that you have to do to keep us employed?
Yeah, just thanks everyone for continuing to tune in on the show. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, looking forward to some more football content that you guys are putting out here.
Yep, and then we'll have more early bird stuff for football coming up soon. Some of Alex's brain is going to be dedicated there once baseball pick gets a little slower and we get closer to the season. But thank you, Alex, for joining us. Make sure to follow him at AwesomeODFS on Twitter and Instagram. Sure, we'll have some cool stuff coming up from New York next week. But we appreciate you, boss man.
All right, thanks, guys.
Better ball.
All right, there we go. That's Alex Baker, better known as Osmo, the top DFS player in the world. Go follow him on all the stuff. Play his home run picks because he knows better than Josh and I do. Let's make our home run picks. I'm going to make mine first just so you don't fuck me, just in case that was going to occur. Edwin Encarnacion.
I would never fuck you.
I'm not gonna follow on that train.
Encarnacion, third in the model tonight. So it's nice to see you're working your way back up to the top.
We did it. I feel good about that, actually.
You were bound to pick somebody with a pulse.
I had 3 out of the last 4. But whatever, man. Whatever. I'm catching you. I'm gonna catch you.
Well, that's fine. I'll happily take Francisco Lindor.
Francisco Lindor. Did Jake drop a pick in chat before he bounced? I didn't see one.
I didn't even know that he was in the chat.
Oh, Jake wanted Encarnacion. Suck it, Jake. Baseball savant. More like the slow savant.
More like the idiot savant.
More like Jerkari. We're delirious, guys. It's been a lot of talking today.
Yeah. Do you know what my plan is for dinner?
What?
I'm going to eat pizza bites until I stuff myself and I can't move. I love when the wife's out of town. Pizza bites!
That is a classic bachelor food. The only way it could be more bachelor is if you ate like the bachelor chow that Fry would eat on Futurama, which I don't know if you watch Futurama.
I do not watch Futurama, but I guess I guess I should because I gotta stop watching Rick and Morty over and over and over again.
Very similar show, a lot of soul to it. Very, very good. I love Futurama. I think it doesn't get enough recognition in the annals of history.
We had this conversation before. I just really hate Peg Bundy.
Yeah, we did. Now I remember we did talk about this. No, Bender himself is worth it. Fry is worth it. Lots of good jokes. Also, lots of like very good background jokes, so it rewards rewatchability. Same as Rick and Morty. All right, Jake, the baseball savant Hari, who's been on a bit of a hot streak of his own, is going with Suarez from the Reds, I presume. That's the only Suarez in the league, right? I hope so.
Yeah, you're good. Suarez grading out the lowest of everyone, but 51st is still solid on a 14-game slate.
There we go. All right, not bad. Actually, let me mark all these down before I forget.
Dub.
And Edwin Encarnacion. Who did you go with?
Francisco Lindor.
Okay, it was so forgettable.
Well, I just needed to take somebody from the Indians to really drive it home. So, chat, you guys are slack, man. Odor went yard last night, and I didn't get a single tweet talking shit to Spags. So, I understand when things happen late, but I need some of the late night crowd to handle my business. Because I'm long asleep. I didn't even know it happened until I woke up.
I was aware. I was aware of both yours and Jake's home runs, but I wasn't going to give you the dignity of it because I just wasn't in the mood to talk about somebody else's success. If I had it, then I would have been great, but sadly, no. Fucking Matt Adams was the only national who sucked yesterday.
I was busy watching a Game of Thrones episode where some woman whose name I don't ever remember gave birth to the smoke monster. So.
Oh, okay. Also, now Jake is just stealing picks from people in chat. Apparently, he's off his Suarez pick and he's on Nelson Cruz now, just because Andrew mocked above him said it. Way to go, Jake. Way to have some balls stealing picks from Andrew.
Nelson Cruz, I assume Jake just saw my screen. Nelson Cruz, 10th in my home run model, one spot behind noted slugger Francisco Lindor.
What a boy, Jake really just cheating his balls off today. Delino the Shields got scratched?
Yeah, apparently. That shouldn't affect too many things.
Yeah, I don't have the Shields at all. So
I mean, I'm sure I have them, but nope, I don't have them on DK, so that's exciting. Easy fix. And I have 1% on FanDuel, but I'm still waiting for one last lineup, I think, before I go ahead and do this.
Oh, so who's going to be in for the Shields? That's not up yet, right?
Kiner Falefa? I don't know. Might already be in.
Maybe Rua. No, Kiner Falefa's not in yet. Seems like Ryan Rua.
Anybody?
Ryan Pua.
David Frank. I don't know anybody's name in this show. I can't keep track of it. There's too many characters, and everybody fucks men and women, so it's really hard to remember like relationships. I can't figure anything out. What complicated I show? I don't know how people keep this shit straight.
Boom, boom. Oh, let's see. Okay. Also, thank you guys for tuning in. It's a Friday, and we have some good viewership numbers. So we appreciate you guys sticking with us regardless of the day of the week. And even though you could probably be doing much better things in sunlight, you are here quietly toiling along with us. So we appreciate that. Paul Blackburn of the night. Who would you pick for a pitcher who looks terrible but might have a shot at being a part of a winning lineup?
Chris Stratton.
Okay. I would go, and this is not a guy I'm playing, so this is just me going off numbers. I would actually go with Ariel Jurado, despite the Little Mermaid references. He doesn't get good movement or anything, but I think the Orioles strike out enough, and somebody out of these chalk stacks today has to fail. So I would go with Jurado. Also, I like his name. Lord knows I'm smoking a blunt. Boy, I really appreciate our company culture, which rewards open drug use.
What?
As long as it's marijuana. Nothing else.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, that'll be me in 35 minutes.
Brett Anderson to GOAT tonight. I hope you're right, Jared Jones. I saw you guys talking about Brett Anderson. I am all over Brett Anderson tonight. I think he is also dog shit and might be a part of it. So yeah, I have a lot of Brett Anderson, and I will regret it because he really does give up a lot of walks and hits per innings pitched, but low ownership, and I hope Detroit's worse than he is. That's the hope.
Michael Kowalski nailed it.
I saw that one, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know that I love that.
It's absolutely right.
You know what, though, but people aren't in here on a short slate, so they're only gambling when it's a large one.
Yeah.
So there is a line. There's a threshold somewhere.
Well, that's the day that everybody else is just like, all right, fine. Like, I'll hang out with girlfriend, wife, etc. There's only 4 games tonight. You know?
Hang out with my stiffened stock filled to the brim with expired semen.
The second time I've heard about semen in the past 45 minutes.
One was off the air, so it doesn't count.
Unfortunately, it counts for me because it's burned in my brain. Time to crunch!
Brett Anderson, more like Matt Anderson. I love the more like game. That's one of my favorite ones, but we should play more often. Feel free to do more of that in the chat too, guys. Oh, Carlos Tochi is in the lineup officially for Delino to Shields. So there you go. Is Heath Philmeyer good or nah?
Nah.
I would say not, and but I don't think he's as bad as the amount of twins stacking against him. So that's what I would go with. That is an weird. What?
I don't know which one I like more.
Jesus, that's just inaccurate in every way. Like nothing like Post Malone. I've never heard that in my life. Kane, go to hell. Go to hell with your brother, the Undertaker. My volume was on 100. Oh, expired semen. So also a great punk rock name if you want to go with it. I have a 10-game parlay with $5 to win 10,000. GM sends. I love parlays. Parlays are the dumbest bet you can make in the world. They're my favorite play to make, especially at $5, whatever. But parlays are why Vegas continues building casinos.
Yeah.
Especially a 10-game parlay.
Oh yeah, that's just almost assuredly a loser.
Though I did once, my most famous gambling thing, which actually is what made me stop gambling because I was like, I'll never top this, was in college. I hit a 7-game parlay with like NBA teams, West Coast Conference basketball teams, and I feel like there was one other sport that I'm forgetting. But definitely those two. And I won that, and I won a little over $7,000 on a $5 parlay, and I never did it again. I did again. I did like recently, but I didn't for like years. I didn't gamble at all, besides fantasy and betting friends or something.
When I was in high school, a buddy of mine hit a 5-teamer in college football for like just over $2,000, and we were having a party at the time. And the way that I'm remembering it now might not necessarily be the truth, but I think that I'm right. He won it on a last-second field goal in like one of the super late West Coast games, and we were belligerently hammered. And when we were watching it in his dad's room for a reason I don't really know. And when the kick went in, we all jumped and like arms in the air, and he had a drop ceiling, and we knocked all the tiles out.
See, I can't imagine being around people for that moment because I remember where I was. I was watching the Clippers game, and it was like when Sam Cassell was on the Clippers because it was when I was in high school. And I think the end of the game was he got like called for, he didn't get called. He got a ticky-tack foul in his benefit when they were already winning, and then they covered on him hitting free throws. And I was like, if I'd watched that with people, like it was such a bullshit way to win the bet, but I would have just been like, if you touched me, I would have been like, get the fuck away. Like I could not have done that. So good for your friend being able to be sociable.
Yeah, I mean, we were 18 at the time, and it was, we didn't know any better. We were already fucked up real bad, but made the rest of the night amazing.
Devin Stanley, Pittsburgh, Texas stack with Corbin. You have landed on a stack I have myself tonight, Mr. or Ms. Devin. I presume Mr. If it were an O, I would think you were a woman. Like Devin, the porn star from my youth. You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
She was one of the first ones. She was what introduced me to my love of large fake breasts, was Devin, the porn star. I remember having like a heart tan line thing too.
God, I don't remember.
Oh, I could go on, but I won't. Devin, I'm glad some people are with me. People do remember Devin. That was back in the day when you could just have one name. Didn't have to be Devin Dix with 7 X's or whatever.
I couldn't imagine knowing a porn star's name now.
I certainly can.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, in fact, I sometimes I let's say sometime in the not too distant past, I hooked up with an African American girl and told my friends her tits are exactly like this porn star from this Bang Bus scene, and they were all like, and I remembered her name, I remembered the scene, I remembered every detail of it, and yeah, so I certainly hold them near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, it's not an industry for me anymore.
Wow. You changed, man.
I mean, I'm just, there's infinite porn. So, I don't catch a lot of production shit.
I feel like whatever. It's a Friday stream. We know this does. Right. By the way, we're worried about the Nationals game. People keep asking that. But.
I lean amateur.
I like the ones that appear to be amateur, but are often not.
Yeah.
How many porn stars?
I like the idea of it being strictly amateur.
I mean, to be total, I could absolutely name a great many porn stars, but of my current favorites, that girl is Ariana Ames, big fan of hers. And in a similar genre, Raven Redmond, I think, is another good one. I think out of busty white girls, I would go Shea Summers, big fan of her. Dillian Harper has kind of a weird childlike face, but also reminds me of a lot of people I've dated, so big fan of her. And I can keep going, but those are just the tops. Those are my DFS picks for porn stars of the evening.
Get a hobby that's not jerking off.
I have marijuana. I have the gym. I have dogs. I do human things, but occasionally I like to scrap one out. Big
Yeah, but I don't go
one.
on like their Wikipedia first. I don't give a fuck what their name is. They are faceless humans for me.
I also love Czech Casting, the porn site, because I love Eastern European girls are really underrated in general.
What about Czech Massage?
Those girls, Czech, not as good. Not as good. Czech Casting is more speed. More like a casting thing.
I prefer the Czech Massage.
I like, there was a
Friday streams, baby.
There was a massage website that I enjoyed, which I believe is called Fucked Hard 18. I don't think it exists anymore. But that was one that I enjoyed for massages. The Czech massages, I like that there's a reality to them, but
well, the first one I ever saw, the girl like shut it down, and I was like, oh, okay. So there's always going to be a different storyline here. I like it.
Yeah, they do that. They certainly do that a lot for the Czech ones to make it seem more real.
Do you want to get Alex back on here for this?
I can't imagine he has that. He might have a viewer too. Maybe he's like Ariana Ames, yeah, and it's like a digital high five thing. How about a low own offense stack for my quintuple? What are you doing? Are we doing horse racing? I don't know about that. Low on offense stack, Rays, Pittsburgh. There you go. Back to porn. No, we could do either or questions and stuff. I think we covered enough. Unless there's anything you want to share about your ownership that you're falling on, Josh.
I just finished my DraftKings crunch now, so I mean I can handle DK questions. I'm about to do FanDuel now.
What are the results of your crunch? Give everybody the exact ownership percentages so they can try to emulate it.
Okay.
The exact for every single player.
I think we might be here a while. All right, paste and save. Close. Let's see what we've got. Have we had an update to our ownership? 641. Yes, we have. Boop, boop. Get those.
Oh, Asa Akira, David Erber, if you check my Instagram, I used to work with Asa Akira, and she's a lovely girl, and I have a photo with her. And if you read the comments, you'll find that all of her fans then chimed in on the comments like, I bet he fucked her real good. And it's hilarious. It's like, no, we were like just worked together, and she's like at Barstool.
It must really suck to live that life.
Well, for her, I mean, but she's like totally okay with it. But like, it was weird because it just crossed over to my Instagram where they just like, she tagged, and it was on hers too. I think she posted the photo too. So hers was even weirder, but mine still had crossed over. They were like, bet you really hollowed her out.
Like, can you imagine writing that on something? Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I could not. I certainly could not.
All right. So for DK, I am essentially fading the main pitchers. I have only 6% DeGrom. We're projecting 20. And I have 9% Corbin. We're projecting 15. I'm up from 0 this morning. I don't have any Marco Gonzalez. Where I'm really different, I have a lot of Vince Velasquez, twice the field. I have more than double the field of Anibal Sanchez. And I'm sticking with a little bit of Gio Gonzalez, nothing crazy. But really, Vince Velasquez and Anibal Sanchez are guiding everything. I have quite a bit of Odorizzi and Archer, but that's more along the lines of the field.
How much Brett Anderson?
How much Brett Anderson? 10%.
Okay, I can live with that. I can live with that.
A little bit of Yanni Chirinos as well.
You guys are getting some good porn star jokes in the comments. I'll give you that. You guys are funny when you try. I appreciate it. I needed some laughs today.
If I were a porn star, I would post my stuff on Vine.
That doesn't exist anymore.
I know, but it's a short porn joke.
Oh, because yes, sorry, I didn't do quick ejaculating one. I'm sorry, that was my bad. You could do a boomerang.
There you go. It goes in and comes out and goes in and comes out and goes in and comes out. It'd be great. Oh, yeah, I got to do that.
JM with the Kobe Ty reference. That is one that very much harkens back to my youth. I don't know what she's up to now. August Ames, rest in peace. That one's sad.
Herman Marquez, I have 2%.
While we're just talking, let's just close the loop on this. I don't like when they die and then then people post a lot more videos. Like August Ames died, and it was like, oh man, like I don't need this. Like I'm sad for her.
I mean, I'll still crank.
I feel like it's disrespectful. I mean, maybe it's not, because maybe that's how she would want to be remembered. But I don't know that. I don't know that.
I mean, as long as the video isn't after death, I think it's fine.
Yeah, that is for the best. People asked about our home run picks. Josh picked Francisco Lindor. I picked Edwin Encarnacion. Jake picked Nelson Cruz. And our boss, Mr. Awesemo, Alex Baker, picked Joey Gallo. So there we go. Those are our home run picks for the day.
I also have no idea who that person was that you were talking about.
August Ames?
Yeah.
Oh, see, you're not up on the scene. Gotta keep up.
Yeah, again, I don't need to know their names.
I keep up with like music and shit that I don't like. I just need to know. See, I feel like your approach is more dehumanizing. Like, sorry, I want to know who they are.
I don't know who they are. I don't watch the ones where they give me their name.
It's like
it's like Karen so-and-so from work and whoever the fuck else is with her. You know, it's not. Is that the Giants lineup? I don't really want to deal with this right now.
Ooh, Reds Nats postponed apparently, according to our boy Shark.
Wait, postponed?
Oh, at least delayed.
Shit, that's not good.
Oh, one other one. Jessica Robin, while we're talking redheads, for David Frank mentioning Faye Reagan. Jessica Robin, a great one, who probably didn't spend any pills, because I think you could tell in the videos that she's just a little pilled up. But for real good build.
Well, time to redo everything I just did. It's the Friday Scramble. It worked last time.
Best music to beat off with. I don't, not a music
We need
guy.
to get off this path, man.
We can. And once the chat stops, I'm not, I believe in giving the people what they want.
Well,
and you're doing your fucking shit anyway.
We've dropped 30 viewers, so
that's fair. It's Friday. We always drop 30 viewers closer to lock anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume it's the content. But time to scramble. I gotta get everything out that was Nats and whoever the fuck they played.
Rockies dark horse for the night. That is not one that I landed on. Jeff Tiffany.
Yeah, I have a ton of the Rockies. I'm way over the field. Love it. Love the Rockies tonight.
Love the Rockies. Let me see. Junior Guerra. Yeah. All right. I don't know that I would love them, but sure. Why not? Where is the ownership going to go from this game? That's a good question.
I can't answer that. I have no idea yet.
I'm glad I didn't even think about playing him. I feel good about that, because I immediately thought, you know what? I had my night with the Nationals last night. It's fine. There are other places to go. So no scrambling for this guy.
I'm okay with it, but I should be able to get this done in time. It's going to be close.
Let me just make sure that I didn't play anybody from that game, but I'm pretty confident I did not.
3.6,
Nope.
10.8.
Too much Chris Archer. I'll tell you that much.
Not
See,
enough
it
Chris Archer.
Went down 10 people not talking porn. So this is what I'm saying. I think in terms of things we could talk about, there's probably a pretty big intersection between the two. What about Fortnite? What do people talk about Fortnite? It's a crossover with that. Go vote 1 for Fortnite talk, vote 2 for porn talk. Not that we'll do that.
Are you gonna count these?
I'm gonna keep a quick little in voice. 1 for Fortnite talk, 2 for porn talk. Get it in the chat, because I just want to know. I just want to know where people's priorities are. Okay, not Fortnite. Yeah. Okay. See, look, you gotta know the audience. Only on the 538 of DFS will you get porn talk and an option for Fortnite talk.
We should run a poll. Do you think I get this done?
I think you'll get it done. I'm not worried for you. How much Kepler tonight?
I don't know. A lot, probably. I have a lot of the Twins. 7% on DK previously, and 9% on FanDuel previously.
Fortnite is for kids. Fortnite is not. I mean, it is popular with kids, but it's just for men of all ages. I feel like, honestly, I think that's a bit of a dad approach you're taking there, David Frank. Keep it open
It's
mind.
shockingly fun.
Yeah, have you been doing it? You haven't won yet, right? If you fucking won a single, I won't kill myself, but I'll be very disappointed.
Yeah, you better get to the top of that building now, then, buddy.
You won a solo.
Of course.
You did not win. That's bull. I find that very hard to believe that you won a solo.
Not. I think I got like 7th once.
Okay.
I'm so bad.
You know, I'm always like top 10 for the most part because well, unless I go like to Tilted Towers and then just kind of cast my lot.
It's really easy to get into the top 10.
Yes, it is. You just have to be like Rambo and kind of take the unbeaten paths.
Yeah.
100+ wins for Fortnite and Brett. Good for you, Brett.
I got 2 kills right before we came live. That was entertaining for me. That's the most I've ever had in one.
David Frank, I'm 43, of course, to take a dad approach. A guy who is a similar age to you, Bill Simmons, playing Fortnite right now, or not, maybe not right now, but at some point today was playing it for the Ringer.
Yeah.
Never too old. I think it's important when you get older to make sure you're still aware of social things, especially if you are a person who like plays video games. Like, play the fucking most important game in the world right now. Don't be
free.
Too cute. It is, and it's free. Though I did buy a costume recently. I finally caved after like 4 months. I was like, fuck it.
So there's my first question. Are you able to? Do you get anything for free?
No, you do not.
So like the only way to get new shit is to buy
it. Only the outfits and stuff. Yeah, you can only get that by buying, I believe, unless they gave like a free giveaway thing.
Okay, so the only reason you would ever do that is just because you want your own person to look different.
And I think people do it as sort of like a humble bundle thing where they're giving and buying because they love the game and want to support it. I think is part of the approach. But it is like a lot of people who like buy the dance thing because they're stupid idiot kids and they're like, oh, he's doing the fuck. I guess not. He wouldn't be doing the Dougie, doing the Kiki dance or whatever the fuck. And then they have to buy that emoji thing or that taunt.
Gotcha.
You get some free stuff. I've never gotten free stuff on it. Oh, free axe backpack, but not the actual outfit. You're always dressed like Tomb Raider if you don't buy an outfit.
Okay. Well, I'll never fucking buy anything then, because that seems silly.
I'll tell you what, and I don't know there's any correlation at all. I definitely started playing better when I bought the outfit. And I feel like it's either because people don't see me as much. I got the straightforward like dive bombing packet one. But I definitely think that there's some sort of correlation there, unless it just got me psychologically like more invested. And I probably was playing so much, learning how to shoot better. But I don't know. It might be a bit of a racket.
All right, I've got my DK crunch finished.
Okay. Any results?
With my with those guys out now. So yeah, I'm gonna paste it in right now. And we can talk about what I got. I'm moving as fast as I can for this shit,
Hey, no, take your time. Are you on Xbox? I'm on Xbox.
I'm on PS4. Does it matter?
Yeah, you play. Your system only plays with the people who are on your version, at least for the current iteration.
That's crummy. I play on PC and PS4. All right, so my top. Go ahead.
Played it. No, it's okay.
Top stacks on DK: Rangers 1, Indians 2, Orioles 3, Twins 4. From a pitching perspective, now that I don't have Gio, I have a little bit more of the top, so a little bit more Verlander and Corbin. I got a little bit of Clevenger now, but mostly nothing's really changed from a pitching perspective.
Okay. Xbox here too. Let's get you a win tonight. I've gotten wins in groups, just not solo. So I'm fine with groups, but I appreciate it, Beefaloon. I've actually won in doubles and quads, whatever the fuck it is, but just not solo. So that's all that's left. That's my last thing to cross. It's winning it solo.
Feel free to get questions in, people.
Severino and Archer, or Odorizzi and Marquez for DK? Aren't those very different prices?
Odorizzi and Marquez probably, but it really depends on, like, that changes your hitting completely. So it's hard to answer that with like any sort of confidence.
Yeah, I think I would agree with what Josh is saying. Those are pretty different price points. Getting off of Archer probably makes sense, but just from an ownership perspective, I'm still playing mostly Archer because I think the matchup's good enough.
And you don't want to end up in the danger zone.
Do not want to end up. I haven't watched the last season of Archer. I need to catch up.
Neither have I.
On Hulu. Archer.
It's definitely on my streaming PC.
The old pirate PC.
Yeah.
No, nobody on DeGrom? Question mark. Is that because of weather? Is people not on DeGrom?
I have 8%. I'm way under the field, but I mean, we're projected for 20%. He's the second chalkiest pitcher on DraftKings, so doesn't seem like the answer is nobody. Who's rolling the dice with Washington, Jason Kelly? Hopefully nobody. The game's postponed. Well, actually, hopefully all of you.
Hopefully the people we don't like are all rolling with Washington, but no, the game has been postponed. Not even delayed. Postponed.
Yeah, that game just doesn't exist right now.
What Tejas players would you fade if you were host Golden?
None.
Yeah, maybe Tochi.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know how whoever we're talking about is playing. So if it's just one lineup, it's a different story. If it's everything, then I'm not fading anything. Yeah. Sometimes I need context.
What a drama queen.
Me?
Oh, I need it this way. All right, high maintenance. Why don't you relax?
I hate everyone in the world.
Why don't you smoke a bowl as you love to do and just kick back and relax and go with the flow more?
Yeah, I'm absolutely going to do that. I think I could do that now. I would never get these lineups in.
Are you playing Yanni Chirinos?
I am.
Okay. How do you feel about him?
I'm playing him. I have 6%.
Okay. Cruncher was really pushing him on me, and that was why I was like, fuck you, man. I'm going to go with Brad Anderson. You don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, they're a little they're a little crazy on that one. I wouldn't go very hard on him, but I like it.
Yeah. Also, to be clear, again, in case you missed some of the streams earlier in the week, Fantasy Cruncher now in our good graces because they gave the baseball savant Jake Hari, better known as Jerk Hari, and myself free memberships. So they're okay, and we can say their name officially. So Fantasy Cruncher, great optimizer site.
I've been saying it the whole time. Big fans. Big fan here. Shit. I gotta run that again. Ooh, I don't have time. Never mind.
How's the Philly game look for you? And you don't have any concerns on that one, right?
I could care less right now. I've got 5 minutes for this crunch to get in, so let's cross the old fingers. Because FanDuel is not updated. This could go bad.
Edwin Encarnacion or Cruz on DK? That would be Edwin Encarnacion for me.
Agreed.
For me to poop on. Yes, you triumphed against old comic dog. Chris, want to play Fortnite after you're done smoking tonight? I probably won't play video games tonight. It's been a very long week, and I don't think I want to do anything that requires thinking. But I'm Chris Spags on Xbox if anybody wants to add me, and I'll probably add you eventually because I really don't use friends on there. I'm kind of a lone wolf gamer.
So much.
Lone wolf porn guy, lone wolf gamer. Just I don't need to do those things in groups sometimes.
Fuck. What did I just want to say? I don't know. All I'm thinking of right now are my pizza bites. And I've got
college. So
3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Where are you pulling your data from for Excel? I presume Josh is using, as I do, using FanGraphs pretty much exclusively, I think, FanGraphs.
Yeah, I mean, FanGraphs, our site.
Right. Obviously, our site was, I thought that one on.
Gambling sites. Sort of all over the place, but mostly FanGraphs. Everything
that I update my sheet with every day, I grab from FanGraphs, including the pitcher list, which Josh sent me off to. They have a list with projections and everything, so you can get all the guys' names nice and neat and matchups and all that. So that plus I just have tabs saved with the matchups of hitters versus lefties, hitters versus righties, pitchers versus lefties, pitchers versus righties. It's set. And just update that. Pitchers don't have to update every day, but hitters I try to update every day.
2 minutes and 30 seconds. I need 28 more lines. We might get there. Drum roll.
Did you see that dude, Adam? I forget his name. Sean B, the guy who was talking about Adam Duvall.
Yeah.
Adam Duvall got walked and scored a run. He's like, I told you he doesn't get hits.
Yeah, I ignored it as we should have.
It was when Alex was on, so I was like, I'm not gonna do this right now. But I wanted to be like, this is not the thing. It's not the thing.
Post Golden, thanks. Ooh, got it. Quick, move.
It's true. That's the thing we don't often talk about. Batting average, the only thing you have to look at. It's nothing else.
This is Daily Fantasy Sports in 1927.
Ty Cobb killing it on both his on-base percentage and his offensive insults slung towards ethnic minorities.
I was going to say, and his incredible racism.
We both had different approaches, but I like both of them. They both work.
FanDuel Crunch is good. Ooh, did I actually add the DK one?
Daniel Escamilla, quick stack. If you want to use the ones that Osmo said, either stack Baltimore, Texas, or Minnesota. For me, if you want to be cute, go with the Rays. If you want to be adorable, go with the Rays.
Nope, wrong one. Ooh, so close.
Also, Osmo did say the D-backs too, as Luis Caliste, not points out, but he mentions the D-backs, and that reminded me. That was one of Alex's sneaky little stacks too.
Under a minute. Come on, FanDuel website refresh.
Is 35% Corbin and 20% Odorizzi too much?
The first one is.
Corbin? Really? Huh. Okay. I would say that Odorizzi is probably too much, but 20% is fine. That's still not what I would do, but it's fine.
Pow! Gets it in with 27 seconds to spare. Booyah! Here we go. All right, let's see what I've got now. Overall. Fresh. And short. Overall top stacks. Rangers still a clear number 1, although I'm under the field. Indians number 2. I am over the field on both sites. Twins number 3. I'm under the field. And then teams that I'm most on tonight. Rockies. I have a ton of the Rockies. Public doesn't seem to be on them at all. I've got a bunch of the A's. That's double the field. I'm double the field on the Royals and Yankees on DraftKings, and the Pirates and Diamondbacks on Fan.
I was kind of hoping that you were going to somehow find that you were double the field on the Nats.
Nope.
And then it was going to surprise.
I fucked up and left them in. I do have 2 lineups with Nats, or a lineup with the Nats and a lineup with the Reds. I fucked that up because I wasn't thinking. I didn't take them fully out of the crunch.
Well, close enough.
Whatever. 2 lines. 2 lines are going to die on purpose out of 600, so we'll be fine.
In case Tommy Tran can swap, do you have a chief second baseman besides VR who pops to mind? No site given?
Then I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry, Tommy. We tried. Gotta give a website when you ask questions. But there we go. We are locked, so good luck.
Logan Forsythe.
Logan Forsythe. There you go, Tommy Tran. Take that one to the money bank. If you got any weird questions, drop them in. We'll do a couple more seconds here, minutes, whatever.
Yeah, I don't have anywhere to be. I'm just going to sit back, eat some pizza bites, and watch the money pour in.
Which porn star is going under the radar that you think people should be on tonight? Lucy Wilde, probably. I think also known as Busty Buffy, depending on the site.
And just like fantasy sports, it's really tough to get the names straight.
See, they're called different things on all different sites. You got to have an Excel spreadsheet that cross-references.
Do you have an ID list here? That'll help me.
Weirdest porn you've seen? I'm not a weird porn guy, but for me that would probably be like two girls, one cup.
I would have said Mr. Hands.
Oh yeah. There's one site I go to which has a bunch of free things and sometimes has animal porn thrown in them. I stopped going there because I just don't need to see, like, they mark it, but there's still like a thumbnail of like a dog smiling and some And I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
think this is
I've
my
seen
life.
a dog and a woman too many times at this point, which sounds like the way to end this podcast. I've talked too much. I don't want to talk any longer.
All right, that's enough for the week. Thank you guys for tuning in. Any streams this weekend? You doing one Sunday?
Yeah, I'll definitely be on Sunday morning.
All right, so Josh will be on Sunday. We'll be back Monday with more strategy videos, more live before lock. Check out the NFL Chapter 4, breaking down the wide receivers. It's on this very YouTube channel. There's also an article on the homepage of Osmo.com to check out. Join Premium if you're not doing that, so you get all the ownership projections and rankings that we discuss every day. You get those right at your fingertips all weekend long. Win money or don't, but at least try. Matt Carpenter's already hit a home run, so Chris Archer, fucking nice job, you cock. and that's all for the week. Thanks, guys. See you soon.